Hello, this is Amala Dawn, and this is Chrysalis Dawn Tarot. Welcome. It's great to have you here today. We're going to start the reading today with my singing bowl, just to clear the energy and to call in the Most High. Calling in Mother, Father, God. Calling in the Heavenly Father, our beautiful Abba, the Ancient of Days, I am that I am. We're calling in the Earth Mother, the Divine Goddess, the Fairy Realms, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Sandalphon, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Michael. Ooh, lots of beings wanted to come through there. In the highest light, love and benevolence, joy, prosperity, peace, healing, and grace for all beings. All right. So we're going to start the reading with one of these Moonology manifestation cards. So let's see what wants to come through for setting the tone of the reading. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating in my channel. This is kind of an exciting adventure for me to just be sharing my readings instead of doing them privately. And it feels really right to just put it out there, you know, like something I find doing readings very therapeutic. And I find that I actually enjoy the way the readings turn out a little bit more when I'm doing them with the intention of them being shared for others. Then it's just a bit of a different vibe than just doing them on my own. So just so you know, the relax card came out there on the bottom of that pile. Relax. Yeah. I was just saying, like, it's important to relax. So I actually see doing this as kind of relaxing and therapeutic. So let's see what wants to come out here for the collective. Detoxify, full moon in Taurus. Just one of the readings I did yesterday started with health as well. So a strong message around cleansing here, and then know your worth. Also, here we've got new moon in Taurus, and full moon in Taurus. That's amazing. Strong Taurian energy. My sun sign is in Taurus. Okay, so I feel like for the feminine, and then underneath that, keep your heart open. So the feminine has been learning how to reopen her heart after difficult situations, how to maintain an open heart in vulnerable situations, and learning what her worth is all about, and regaining a deeper sense of self-confidence. And Taurus energy is kind of known for having difficulty with valuing self. It's like there's a great presence to Taurus. So because there's this great presence energy and very much a nurturing energy of giving and being grounded and giving of the earth, right, and giving of self, there's like not a lot of like stepping out of oneself to like look back at oneself. There's not the same kind of like glamour or but necessarily the same sort of fire or pizzazz or charisma or charm, maybe as like a fire or an air sign. And in our modern world, people get a lot of self-esteem out of those sort of actions that are more common to air and fire signs, and like, you know, being really glitzy and glamorous on social media and all that stuff. And I feel like earth signs in general and Taurus energy, that's more of this like giving, nurturing energy, and maybe also like hardworking energy, being more self-disciplined and just like more practical. Like these things maybe in an older world were more valued, but not so much in today's world. And that sort of strength and stability of Taurus is barely like it really. I think that for like years now, a lot of people awakening Tauruses have been feeling like really like they've been getting walked on in a lot of cases, because in this sort of modern flashy like social media digital world we live in, those qualities have been just like getting kind of walked on and taken advantage of. So I think Taurus is going through a process of healing this now. Also, Uranus has been in Taurus for like at least a few years now, and so that's been very transformative to the foundational being of Taurus, of like being this awakened, electrified Taurus, as well as being this stable, nurturing, grounded Taurus. And it's been like a kind of like a deconstruction and a reconstruction. So I don't want to say this message is just for Tauruses or Earth signs, but this reading might resonate a little bit more with Tauruses and Earth signs if you have that in your sun, moon, rising, Jupiter. Yeah. Okay. So getting back to this detoxify message, like I feel like just like it's like, okay, like Taurus, like it's time to like all these sort of misconceptions that Taurus energy or Earth energy had about itself, or that anybody is resonating with this message. If you have any sort of predominant Earth energy in your chart, if you're familiar with your astrological chart, like I feel like that it's like that all that weight that was taken on, all those burdens, while all these other energies, these other elements were like free to fly and shine, and and in some cases on your back. Like it's time to really let all of that go. And like it's time to it feels like very much an emotional detoxification, you know. And I think that there's a physical detoxification as well, but the most important thing is to let go of all these misperceptions of yourself, like of being not good enough, right? Because of like the way that your energy has been sort of abused and mishandled, like especially the way the world has been within the last, we'll just say 10, 15 years or so. Okay. So, which I know at least for me, that's like most of my like true adult life, right? So, and for some people you may resonate with a slightly shorter time frame on that, or a slightly longer depending on your age. Okay. But it's something that's been pretty prevalent through most of, we'll just say like the modern digital world since like the internet and social media, right? So I'm feeling a very, very intense energy around this full moon Taurus energy. So I don't know when there's going to be the next full moon in Taurus, but I feel like it will be significant. I'd love to know how far off it is, because it's like something significant will complete when that comes around, and it could be a long time from now, it could be short, because I actually have no idea what it is. I have a book that would tell me, but I'm not going to pull it out right now. There's also this very green pasture here, right? And green pastures is speaking to a lot of abundance and a lot of fertility, and like really a lot of auspicious new prosperity coming in. So what I feel is that this cleansing is allowing Taurus to see like what you already are, because Taurus energy is actually very abundant. It's actually very abundant and very fertile, and it's usually Tauruses are very prosperous, but because of, like I said, this Uranus and Taurus energy and all these like foundational shifts that have been happening to ascend the physicality of Taurus, like Taurus has been helping, and Earth signs have been really helping ground the ascension, but especially Taurus into the physical. It's been hard on the body And Taurus is actually continuing to have to do this for the collective, which is part of why, because Taurus is, that energy is grounding so much higher frequency energy for the collective, for the physicalization of the ascension, like almost like getting these higher templates, these higher vibrational templates, and making them physical so that they can be shared, requires a lot of detoxification. So, but there will be, I just feel with these green pastures here, all this will be rewarded. And like knowing your worth and doing this sort of work is not in vain. Like there's a lot of, like I said, there's like people out there, especially with a lot of air and fire energy, that get so much attention, and everybody listens to what they have to say, and they seem very charismatic and charming. And if you have a lot of earth energy, often like you can get, even like a water energy can be like very emotional, very dramatic, right? And so that can be very attractive. But earth energy, especially in a sort of very glamorized, very fake like world, can be seen as like a little too real, a little too like, it's just like, oh, like you're real, you're strong, but that's like worthless in this world. That means nothing. You're useless. You're never going to be successful. You're not anything. You're just that strong backbone that I can like that I am going to like feed off of, right? To climb on. And literally, like, Taurus is what? It's like a bull, it's a cow, right? It's like not many of the signs in the astrology are animals that people actually eat, that get fed off of. but Taurus is one of them, right? People, they do. So it's like, and I'm not saying that not necessarily negative. Like a cow, like symbol of cow is meant to, it's like in the ancient world, it's like very prosperous. If you have cattle, right? Very prosperous. It's a very sacred animal. But I guess what I'm saying is like in this modern world, there's been a lot of abuses. And there needs to be some sort of like a detox of this sort of like abuse sort of energy. It's very like a very kind of diabolical matrix energy of siphoning of this earth energy for ill. Not quite the same as like the heavy darkness of like child sacrifice, but like in a different way, like the more average, you know, narcissistic person loves to like sacrifice and feed off of Taurus energy, you know, or the modern like magician, you know, the average black magic practitioner loves to feed off of and harness and exploit Taurus energy and take it for themselves. I'm sorry, this is like a little dark and heavy, but it just is what wanted to come out. So that's why there's so much cleansing needs to happen, because there's been a lot of distortion over the past few years, especially a lot of distortion. And I just feel like God's really trying to set things right in having this conversation, because again, I think God's a little mad, because if you look at the tarot, even like the Hierophant, okay, is connected to two signs, Libra and Taurus, right? Those signs are very connected with the truth of God. Taurus is also connected with the Empress. It's very fertile, abundant, nurturing energy, and very connected to the voice and truth of God. Very wise, very stable. And also knowing of like ancient old traditions that have value, that are esteemed in God's eyes, right? And it's just been there's just been so much exploitation, and God, I'm gonna cry here. Like, God is mad. God's mad. He's really mad at the people who have done this, okay? Because they could. So let's get another card here, because it's like I need to kind of like take a step back, because I'm getting way too intense into that energy, and it's like it's just too much. Okay, so I gotta take a step back, because I'm getting a little too passionate about it, and I don't even have that much heavy fire in my chart. But my Eris is Eris, which is like my planet at the midheaven of my chart, so you could call it like my higher self planet is Eris, who's already she's like a fiery planet in Aries, which is fiery. So that's my higher self is fiery, but my earthly self is not. So my higher self sometimes can get a little spicy. Okay, so all right, So what the next card is, a little bit about me there, okay? So what do people need to know here from the Work Your Light Oracle to build on this message? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put one more. I'm feeling called to pull one more. Okay. So we've got here Earth School, Life Lessons, Soul Growth, Study, and Higher Learning. And we've got your life is a canvas, artist manifestation, and creative accountability, which is beautiful. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Child of the Cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. So it's speaking strongly to this new beginning, right? And there's been a lot of difficulty, I think, with these life lessons and up until this point. But I feel, which is why there's the need to complete this detoxification. But I feel like it's actually moving into something very exciting, right? Again, this child of the cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. That really speaks to that Hierophant energy I was talking about, of having access to all of this very, very divine, sacred knowledge, higher knowledge, and the voice of God. And that's part of that. Again, the other bottom of the deck was know, right? It was know your worth, right? Know your worth, that you are this very, very connected divine being with a lot of divine authority, right? And what we have here with the Earth School, soul growth, study, higher learning, is just speaking to that Hierophant energy of moving more into to growing that connection with the divine, to I wouldn't say just soul growth, I'd say it's spiritual growth, the Hieros Gamos marriage of soul and spirit, bringing that more into reality, studying what's required to help further that process, again, this higher learning, spiritual studies, could be even religious studies, esoteric studies. I feel like it's all really stepping forward now. And this is going to resonate with, this should resonate strongly with people that are Libra as well, and it would resonate with, I think it would resonate with anyone who is really feeling like they're being called to be more of a spiritual teacher. So with this, your life is a canvas, artist manifestation, creative accountability. It's a repetitive message that have been coming through in a lot of the readings to a certain extent, that this cleansing and releasing of the old is bringing forward really exciting new manifestations. But this is specifically speaking about the creative way by which you're expressing yourself, the artistic way by which you're expressing yourself, your unique flair, your unique flavor, right? Your unique brushstroke. So it might help to do some artistic work like painting, drawing, crafting. It could be music, something with your hands could be really particularly beneficial. It could be writing, could be we've got here manifestation also. So there could be visualization work that you want to do. But what I'm gathering is that I feel like these manifestations are meant to somehow be tied to this study and higher learning, that you're detoxing in order to receive this higher wisdom and this higher level of spiritual growth. So it's more like the creative ways by which you do that, and the possibilities of how high you can see yourself going, right? And growing, right? That might be beyond how you conceived yourself in the past, right? Because again, it comes back to this original message where I was saying there's a lot of people that are really out there, especially that have a lot of flair and flash and are really good talkers, and definitely with more air and fire energy, right? And like maybe there's like been like a sense of feeling inferior to those energies, and maybe you have been in a position of being inferior to those energies, and in some way or another, because of like in terms of like how that's been perceived, because other people get more attention, or have more of a following or more likes or whatever it is, right? Or more people just listen to them, right? They grab more people's attention for whatever reason, one way or another. And like it, what I'm getting at is like, this is about you seeing yourself, being able to visualize yourself as being free to also step into your role, right? As both like a student and teacher of higher learning, as this in this Hierophant energy, as a spiritual teacher of sorts, but also like the way, like being free to explore creatively the ways by which you do that are your unique way, that's valuable, right? It's highly valuable, even if it's not really about how many people like what you're doing. It's not really about being the most popular. It's about you knowing that actually what you're doing is truly valuable regardless, and that it's needed. And if you look at the old world, a lot of times people didn't necessarily always want so much notoriety or fame if they were like really good healers, or if they were doing some sort of very powerful kind of spiritual training or work. That's why people developed mystery schools, and why people did healing in secret. And you know, that goes all the way back to Jesus, right? But there's, you know, a lot of people in history that have done really amazing things, and it's only because of like one or two people who followed them, who like wrote down their work, that you even know about these people. And then to even find out about those people who wrote down about these people that were doing all these amazing things, that were great teachers and great leaders, requires like diving deep into certain, you know, books, certain kind of like rich advanced texts, and is something I'm discovering. And like so much point blank, a lot of people are just living in a collective consciousness where there's leaders and followers, and most of those people actually aren't really true leaders in God's eyes, which might sound harsh, but it's just it's the truth. It's I'm just gonna say it. It's Jesus's truth, right? It's the Lord's truth. It's the Lord's wisdom. And if you read the Bible, you can kind of glean what I'm saying, the canonical kind of truths in what I'm saying. Okay, so it's just, there's this, I think this is all coming out in a sort of intense way, because there needs to be a big shift in perceptions and energies. And it's like not only a detoxification of old emotions, but a detoxification of an old way of thinking that was preventing people who actually are meant to be spiritual teachers, leaders, and healers in their own way from really stepping out and doing what they're meant to do. And because of a misperception, because of cultural norms, and because we tend to put people with more, we'll just say more popularity on a higher status, and life is kind of a big popularity contest. instead of a real rise to your highest level of spirituality and emulate the masters like Jesus contest. That's it. That's a massive message about life and about truth. So we're gonna pull a few Muse tarot to close this out. I didn't even pull tarot for this message, which is like crazy. So okay, wow, okay, no, you know what, okay, I'm gonna put these back because I hadn't had a chance to finish my pre-shuffle yet, but we did get the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. So it's just sort of clarifying what I was saying about what I feel is like very much that there's been this energy in the past of sort of being like robbed of like your gifts and your abilities and shining them properly because of the context in which you've been trying to blossom and share who you are successfully, which has been limited because of, like I said, the popularity contest and the glamour contest. Okay, so, and in some cases even the sensationalism contest, right? And just straight up manipulation. Some people, they just like are just very forceful and so like confident, regardless of whether or not they're saying has any merit or quality. Because sometimes it has zero merit or quality, but they're just so confident in sharing it that they're stealing all the attention, right? And God's saying that's got to stop. In some cases that's got to stop. So because they're manipulating people that are meant to be of a higher level of spiritual development and authority, and holding them back from their growth. So in certain cases, God's just like, no, I'm not allowing that anymore. So there's going to be the wheels here to bring forward a positive change and bring in all this new divine energy. So there, I did end up taking the cards. I just did a full read of them, so we're going to have to keep them out. But this is great. Like, and again, it's earth energy and water energy. So some of these energies that have been, like I said, a little bit more held back, are getting a boost, right? God's bringing in some support for those elements, which are very nurturing earth energies, right? So here we have on the bottom of the deck the Eight of Pentacles. So you know, it's just like, it just feels like it's always just the card of work and getting to work. Whatever this shift is will lead to some sort of like successful work, prosperity. So there could be some definite getting to work in the field of spiritual teaching, spiritual healing. Okay, and what's coming towards? Okay, we've got Page of Cups and Six of Swords here. Okay, so there's a moving on, right, from entanglements, right, in situations where you weren't properly being supported to thrive being you. And with this Page of Cups, there's again the seeds of prosperous new beginning. Yeah, and look at this, under this Five of Swords was on the bottom there, which is pretty heavy. Yeah, and with Six of Wands and Five of Wands. You can't make it up. This is exactly what I was saying. Like, especially if you've been trying to gain any sort of like public recognition for what you do, or trying to be in the public eye in an area where there's been a lot of competition. Like, some people have, especially maybe people that have been on like a more in their head and more calculated, like with this Five of Swords energy. Like, I just feel like there's some people who like straight up just like were like highly competitive and wanting to tear you down, and did in some cases tear you down and hold you back from successfully being in the public eye. And you're moving away from these individuals and from these energies, and these manipulators, and who are like heavily in their ego, right? And you're stepping into like, you're just saying like, that's not me, that's not who I am, with this Page of Pentacles energy, sorry, Page of Page of Cups energy. It's not who you are. You know, you carry a certain sort of like innocence to you. You carry again the pure heart, and it's just not, it's not your modus operandi. It's not your way of doing business. And on the cut there, we've got this muse of inspiration, which is King of Wands. So you're gonna be successful here, like doing things your way. You're going to like rise up into a maturity and in passionate leadership, right? After this period of like stagnation and not really knowing what to do or how to move forward. But it requires just like moving on from the past and detoxifying these negative past experiences that you've had up until this point. And leading more from like your true authentic self without worrying about it, without entangling, right? So what's the final advice here? What's the final advice? Okay, we've got 10 of Wands with Queen of Wands on the bottom, and then under that 6 of Pentacles and the Lovers. Okay, so interesting. So the context, like there's somebody here, I feel like, that definitely is interested in you, in moving, like in your glow up, and like coming into yourself here and doing things your way. I feel like there's like a really authentic connection here. Very authentic, true, heart-to-heart love that's possible. But with this 10 of, I think this is very interesting, because on this 10 of Wands here, if you look up close, there's all these bulls. Bulls. Can you see that? It's hard to... There we go. See? And like, how much was I talking about Taurus energy? Right? So, and like the burdens that this Taurus energy has been carrying, right? All this weight, like, and sometimes like sometimes like Taurus doesn't even realize it. It's just so natural for you to do this. You don't even realize how much like energetic weight you've been carrying for other people. It just happens so naturally to do this. So naturally to do this. Because your energy is just it's to give. This is, again, why did people feel so abundant in the ancient world to have like cattle, right? Why was it such a massive sacrifice to like give to sacrifice a cattle that had no defect to God in the very ancient world, like the ancient Israelites? It was a huge sacrifice. It was bigger than giving up money, right? Because of how much giving there is, how much provision, how much nurturing, how much life-sustaining force there is, right? But what this is really saying here, I feel, is like, she's also wearing black, right? This woman. And for some reason, I'm kind of hearing Black Widow as this Black Widow energy as well. And it's about, yeah, it's totally, it's about the detoxification is about like having really like letting go of kind of who you've been almost as an adult and how much responsibility you've been carrying. In some cases also as a single parent here. Somebody who's experienced a lot of loss and has had to carry a lot of burden, to come back to this innocence, this more childlike version of you, who you were before you took on all this stuff for others, which in a lot of cases was never even appreciated, right? If it was, you wouldn't be in this 6 of Swords energy of moving on from it, right? So, or in this energy of the wheel of moving on from this 7 of Swords, right? So, and again, we're just like going over here, right? But it's saying here, the Wheel of Fortune, big shift with these two aces, is saying there's all this new divine energy here available for you now. It says your life is a canvas, right? Your life is a canvas. So it's like, it's beautiful. And ultimately, it's a bit of a hard, heavy reading, right? Because this energy of this Five of Pentacles, of all this like, just abandonment. Like, it's like you did so much for, I just feel like you did so much for so many people, and then they still gave you nothing back and like left you out in the cold, right? But God's just like, nah, like take a time out, meditate, cleanse, take some time in the sun, let go of those burdens, let go of that weight. And I feel like good things are coming, but it's just like there's a, I think that, like I was saying before, sometimes it's just, you don't even realize. It's been so much a part of your adult nature to be in this energy of giving. And if you've completed whatever karma you meant to complete around being in that energy for others, and now you're coming back to that more youthful, authentic self, it takes time to really program yourself fully, and that's what's happening. You're reprogramming yourself fully. Okay, and also on another cut there, I got forgive, right? So it's really just like forgiving yourself, forgiving the past, like, you know, because like I think for a lot of people there might be like, in order to really create something new, you have to really let go, right? Like really, part of forgiveness is letting go of your old stories about you having to be that person, having to be the one carrying the weight, having to be the one that like that you just can't get away from those burdens, right? But yeah, then on the other, I got one more cut there, and it said believe in your good luck, right? First quarter moon in Sagittarius, and that's that Wheel of Fortune card, right? With those two aces, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. So there's good luck coming in. And Sagittarius are known for having good luck, right? So so now you get to have a little bit of that Sagittarian good luck. It's your turn. So it's pretty exciting. All right, that's the reading. Sending you lots of love. If you like this, please like, share, subscribe. And also, if you would like a personal reading, the details for contacting me for that are in the description box. Take care.